Struggle is an absolute necessity to building a business. As a matter of fact, I personally think it is good for you. If you can handle it, if you can take it, it will be a key driving factor in the building of your business. We're going to get into these details right now on the Biz Talk. I'm struggling right now, sitting next to you.
I struggle every day.
This is a great topic.
I
absolutely love talking about this because it's a real part of young nails, right? As a matter of fact, it's a part of any successful business.
I think your guys' story goes above and beyond.
It's
it's gnarly, and I don't think
is.
A lot of people realize it.
No, and I think the first thing today, like I want to give you an example of like struggle, right? But before that, I just want to say, if you're struggling, in your career as a nail professional, as a nail artist, what I can tell you is that it's normal. It's totally 100% normal. And the only difference is like whether you're going to push through it. Feeling the struggle is normal if you're building any kind of business.
Any business, not just nails. Yeah,
that's right. Any kind of business. The difference is like, I think that helps to know, okay, this is normal. Everybody that's building a business has to go through this. It's a matter of really pushing through that struggle and using it in the right way, which I will talk about. But I wanted to give an example of like real struggle, right? So when we were building Young Nails, this is right before I came on board.
What year?
This was in like between 97 and 99. It was a 2-year span that we went through this period. Basically, my mom, the young of Young Nails, she had an idea. Okay, so like we were struggling with cash. We weren't bringing in enough money, okay, for 2 reasons. Number one, sales were low. But outside of sales being low, you have to then collect the money also, right?
That
so
is
whatever
key.
Sales you have, it's huge.
That's a really important thing.
It's really important, but what's crazy, Tracy, is a lot of companies struggle with actually the collections part of their business. So what that means is it is the hard part. It is really hard. Basically, we had distributors and we were selling them product and we would give them what's called terms. So they would have 30 days to pay us, and then we would have the same terms with our suppliers. They give you the product first and you pay them 30 days later. So that's pretty standard in distribution, in any kind of like distribution business, manufacturing. So sales were low, plus whatever sales we did have, we weren't collecting the money fast enough. So like there was like no money coming in and we had bills to pay. So my mom she had already like kind of exercised all the other different options available, which were hitting up family members for money.
Credit cards. She
She had maxed them out. Her own personal line of credit had, basically
on the house and everything.
On the house, everything, like used all of that to the maximum. And so she asked Greg, she said, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" It was a very interesting proposition. She basically told my brother and said, "Hey, I got this idea. We used to go to Las Vegas a lot, growing up. That was our sort of like vacation. So my mom had built relationships there in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So she's like, let's go to Vegas. We're going to go to Harrah's and we're going to pull out a marker. It's about
It's a marker.
10. A marker is basically, it's a short-term loan from the casino. If you have good credit with them, what you do is they take your bank information and they give you a short-term loan. And it's like a short-term credit card. You have to pay it back in 30 days. Okay. So the rule, though, is that you have to play with the money. You can't just go there, take the money, and walk out.
You're not going shopping with the money.
You're not going shopping with the money.
Got it.
Or use it for your business. Yes.
So tricky.
My mom basically had this idea, let's do that. And then we will pretend like we're playing. And then we're going to take the money, bring it home, pay off our bills. And then when we collect our receivables and we collect the money that's due to us from our customers, we'll go back to Vegas, we'll pay it off, we'll be good to go. So like it had gotten to that point. So imagine the financial situation you have to be in. It's desperation, right? And this is the part I love about my mom. This is the part that I respect about her so much. Is there was no option to fail for her. She got so creative. A lot of people say, that's crazy. I would never, you know what? In my opinion, I honestly look at that and say, what an incredible, creative, brave, courageous,
very brave,
aggressive move. But like, here's somebody that believed in the business so much that she's going to do everything to keep it alive. And she did. So off to Vegas we went. I remember we get in the car and my dad wasn't totally aware.
Did he go to Vegas with you?
He would go with us. I don't think he was totally aware initially. He might have been. I have to ask Greg and my mom about that. But we would get in the car, go as a family, and play, come back the next day. You know, they pretend like they were playing, brought the money back, paid off bills. Had to go back in 30 days, pay it off, take the money back out.
Oh, so this was not a one-time deal.
It wasn't a one-time deal. It was kind of supposed to be a one-time deal, but it ended up like, well, we still need the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they pay it off, pull the money back out, pretend like they're playing, take it back home, pay off bills, collect money from customers, go back to Vegas. This went on for several months. And so my mom and my brother would go by themselves a lot of times, you know, make that quick trip. Like they'd leave in the morning, go do it, come back at night.
Yeah, because it's a short drive.
It's a short drive for us, like 3.5 hours, 4 hours exactly. So got to the point where they couldn't pay back the loan, the Vegas marker. Like they didn't collect enough money to pay it back. So they went to the Rio and they pulled out a marker there.
To pay off
Harris.
Oh no!
Pull the money back out, come back home. So now it's getting very, very gnarly and very dangerous, right?
It's a lot of balls in the air.
It's a lot of balls in the air. Needless to say, after I think it was over a year or close to 2 years, it all came crashing down. And here's the thing, you know, basically the casinos came after us. How do you get through that, right? First of all, the casinos came after us. They're like, you have to pay us back. Having Vegas come after you is not fun.
Yeah,
I'm
sure they were not nice about it.
No. And on top of that, we were flat broke. Like not a penny in our bank account, to the point where I had to, all of us, not just me, but like I had to call up my friends and ask them to borrow money. Greg had to call his friends, ask to borrow money.
Are you in the business now? I'm sorry for interrupting, but
at this time,
because I know the story, but I'm not.
I was not a part of the business.
So you're just the son helping
out.
Okay.
Of course, it's my family. And at this time, I was teaching third grade at this time, and I was giving half of my check to the business because they needed it.
And you were living at home.
I was living at home. I moved back home so that I could give half of my paycheck to the business because we were struggling. The family was struggling. To be honest with you, I never wanted to be anything part of the business. I saw it as like, at that time, I saw it as like, this is just it's a black hole. It just sucks up money and it's going to destroy whoever gets involved in it. I really had a negative kind of view, but at the same time, it's like, this is my family. So I'm like, I have to help, right?
Help. Yeah.
So I did. And I called on some friends. I was able to scrounge up I think a couple $1,000s. Greg was able to scrounge up about $5,000 from one of his very, very close friends. My mom's, I think she was able to get a little bit of funds, and we were able to get by. That bought us time. And then what ended up happening with Vegas is basically my mom is she's so gangster, man. She was like, I swear to God, like they call and they're like, we're going to come after you and we're going to send we're going to sue you. And my mom just on the phone, she's like, go ahead. Like,
come get me.
Yeah, come get me.
She's like,
you will
go and save me. I'll get free rent.
Yeah, no. Seriously, she was like, go ahead and do it. I have nothing to give you. You will very quickly see I have nothing. So you will get nothing. Or work with me. Work with me. I promise I will pay you back. I will pay you back every penny that we borrowed. But you have to work with me on a plan, because right now, this was pretty much the lowest point, of the business. But
did your dad know? That
of course, at that point, yeah. I mean, it was so low. It was one of the few times I saw my dad like break down into tears, because it was like bottom.
He was probably like, "Come get her too." He was probably calling him like, "You need to come get this woman."
Vegas, please help a guy out, man. Seriously, but like we got through it, Of course we did, obviously, because now we have a very successful business. But that struggle, I think, and this is why I said at the beginning, is it's so important. And that's just one story, by the way. That's one. There's like 50 stories of complete madness of what we've gone through, to keep the business alive. Down on the mat
and getting pummeled.
Just kicked repeatedly in the gut, in the face. And you get back up. We've had issues, every issue you can imagine, from lawsuits to things just going wrong.
People taking
advantage of us, stealing, theft, partners in the early days, embezzling money, to this whole Vegas fiasco that we went through. All these struggles. And here's the thing. It was I'm so thankful and grateful for every single one of those, because the confidence that I have today, because we were able to get through them, not only get through them, but actually build a successful business despite the fact that we went through that, makes me realize it doesn't matter what comes our way. It doesn't matter what type of struggle comes to our business. We will make it through. We will make it through, just like we always have, And struggle is it is a necessary, it's good. That's why I say it's good. If you go through something, here's another example, Tracy. It's so funny. Greg and I were just talking about this. He was like, we've had a lot of business dealings, I'd say, over the last 6-7 years that have gone not well. Okay, for Young Nails, let's just call it what it is, right? This is the reality. And we've tried several. I've talked about this on Biz Talk before, but we've tried several marketing companies, marketing firms. We've tried consultants.
Lots of money.
So much money that Greg and I were talking about it. He's like, God, we've burned so much money. And I said to him, I go, what if all those things worked out, bro? What if they worked out? What if, let's just stop and think about this. What if some of these business dealings that we did worked out? Where would we be today? And he's like, that would actually kind of suck, because we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today, which is this, right? The Biz Talk, social media, growing our business, creating stronger bonds with our distributors and our customers, and we are growing the business now, right? And we're actually doing it the right way, and we see it, and everybody here at the company sees it. Yeah. We would be under the guise of like, hey, things are good, because if those things worked out 3 or 4 years ago, we would still be locked into certain relationships with certain people. We would not have met who we're dealing with today, and we'd be going down the wrong path, and we'd be behind right now. And so very quickly, our conversation, this was yesterday, our conversation turned into, thank God all of those failures and struggles happened, because it forced us to look at our business. And since we've been through struggle before, it forced us to push through these last ones and look and search for the answer, What do we need to do? What do we need to do? What is it? What are we missing? What do we got to do? And trying things. And here we are today. And like, that's why I say, like, the struggles are necessary, but if you use them in the right way, oh my gosh, it's very powerful.
Yeah,
it's very powerful.
I think people talk about that, like the struggles they have in life made them the person that they are. So this has made you the company that you are.
1,000% it has. And even me as an individual, I am not the same person I was 20 years ago before Young Nails. Oh my God. Like, I have such a different level of belief and confidence in myself, in our team, just everybody that's involved with this company, like what we can do together. I have such a different level of confidence, and that's only because of what we've gone through and been able to succeed, right? Like, those struggles, those difficulties, overcome them and continue to grow past. You know what I mean?
No, I love these stories because I was told when I first met you guys, and I was talking to someone in the industry about you guys, and they're like, well, you know, their mom gave them $10 million to start that company. Like, good for them. They were talking like it was negative, but I'm like, good for them, which is just such an opposite story. But
that's amazing.
I love that you share this stuff, and I think it's important for people to share their struggles.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there going, what's wrong with me?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong? Nobody else has these problems. And yes, they do.
We do. And even today, you know, like, it doesn't matter, like, where I look at where we are today, you know, and the way that I analyze it is I never sit there and go, we're on top of the world, we've overcome this, you know, like, I'm going to chill. Like, no.
Next.
It's always like, you know, the challenge and the pushing forward.
And it's got to be part of it.
It's got to be part of it. Yeah.
Because I think you're right. If it had been comfortable, you might be on a golf course right now. Man, you
depressed.
blew it. Depressed.
I would be depressed.
He would. That's true statement.
I've come to realize that. I think you, I mean, you know this, and you and I are very similar in this way of, like, I'm not wired that way. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? I love this. I love working, the pushing, the challenge, because you get so much fulfillment and satisfaction, so much, right?
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. Like, what we're doing today, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, you know? And I would just say, if you are going through struggles right now with your business personally, if you can just change that perspective and look at it as, like, this is going to be a positive thing, like stepping stone, strength, like, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be more confident from it. I think it will really make a difference in your career. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week on the Biz Talk.